This week I ran a very last minute half marathon and it didn't quite go to plan.
I already feel emotional. I didn't think this through.
Before we go into all the juicy detail, let's rewind and cover exactly how I got here.
Hey, I'm Dani. After 14 years in the corporate world, I've just quit my job to start a new life. I've traded office hours for open skies, chasing more meaning, adventure, deeper connections, and a chance to give back. Here on this channel, I'm documenting the very messy journey of starting over, the highs, the lows, and everything I'm learning as I rebuild my career and my life from scratch. Through these weekly videos, I'm also teaching myself how to film and edit along the way. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get into it.
3, 2, 1. Hello, if you're new here, I'm Dani. A quick intro, I've just left my corporate job after 14 years and I'm starting a brand new life, hopefully centered around being in the outdoors, developing really great, meaningful relationships and giving back as much as I can. So I'm currently trying to fill my life with as much of the things I love as possible alongside volunteering work and deepening connection with friends and family. So there's lots of hikes, runs, climbs. I'm learning new stuff. I'm getting outdoors into the wild as much as I possibly can. So this week, I ran a surprise half marathon. In this video, I'll take you through the weird story of how that came about and exactly what happened on the day. Foreshadowing, it wasn't great. So for the longest time, I've wanted to run in the Royal Parks half marathon. As someone who loves the outdoors and nature and London and running, it is kind of the ideal race, but I've never got into this race. I apply in the ballot every year and I've never got in. And the same thing happened this year. I applied in January and then got rejected in February. I then of course got injured in February and then spent the next 6 months recovering. I was thrilled to get back to even like 1K, 2K runs in the late summer. By a couple of months ago, I was up and running and getting back into my running schedule again. Kind of put the Royal Parks Half Marathon to the back of my head this year and just thought I'll apply in the ballot again next year. Until early October this year, I was running on one of my favourite local running routes in North London, and I turned my head and I saw a sign.
I've just seen a little sign strapped up on a notice board saying that someone in the community has places available for the Royal Parks Half Marathon in a couple of weekends' time. Tempted. Very tempted. Do I do it? I think I'm going to do it.
So I ran home and emailed to see if it was real, and amazingly, I got a place. So a few days later, I ran to a random person's house who could no longer run, and I collected their race pack. And then it was 6 days to go, and I had to get my head in the game. In my body, it felt like the time had come after the excruciatingly slow preparation and building and strength and conditioning and physio and work in the gym, and slow return to running. It felt like it was time to test whether my body could handle a half marathon. Which brings us to race day. And it started well, and then it went downhill. But we'll start with the excitement and the nerves first. So here you go. Good morning. I'm nervous. We'll chat more about the nerves at breakfast because we've got to keep going. But I haven't run this far in a long time. Post-injury. Everything crossed. Good morning. It is the morning of the Royal Parks Half Marathon. It is currently 6:58. I need to leave the house at 7:15. We have the classic race breakfast that I showed you before, which is oats and water in the microwave for 2 minutes, strawberries and some strawberry jam as well. I didn't have banana this morning. My race prep is clearly not very good because I forgot to buy bananas. Anyway, this is gonna see me through. I'm gonna leave the house shortly and then I will take you to the race village and we'll go from there. So, some fun facts for you about the Royal Parks Half Marathon. The Royal Parks Half is one of London's most scenic races. It is the only half marathon in central London that runs through 4 royal parks: St James's, Green Park, Hyde Park and Kensington Gardens. Beautiful. And what's so great about that route is you run past iconic landmarks. So we've got the House of Parliament, Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, the London Eye. Maybe we'll see some parakeets because those are the parks I was in last week doing my parakeet tour. If you watched the previous video, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't watched it, that sentence will have made no sense at all. And because there's 16,000 people running today, which is mega, I imagine there's going to be really good atmospheres and probably lots of people cheering and music and all that kind of stuff. And it's just such an amazing way to feel part of London. London can be quite a lonely place to live, but with these big events, it's such a joy to feel that sense of London coming together. So I'm really excited to hopefully see a bit of that London community today, in addition to having a good run. Okay, things are getting serious. The running glasses are out. So because it is a half marathon, I want to take on my own water, so carry my own hydration. And that means I'm wearing my trusty running vest. So I thought I would show what I put in this for a half marathon. First thing is my hydration flask. This is filled with electrolytes. I have used fizz today, so just one tablet and water. And then I've got a couple of snacks in case I get hungry. I'm not doing gels today. I'm just gonna rough it with a few little snacks. Tissues, essential for races like this. I don't know, maybe today will be different because there's so many people running, but often the portaloos are a bit gross and there's no tissues, so it's just really nice to carry tissues. Also, if you have a runny nose, tissues is just great, and I'm always thankful when I carry tissues on me. Lip salt, I always thank myself for as well. And today I'm going to be taking you with me. This is representative of you, aka the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I'm going to be taking you in my running vest. So hopefully that's going to sit here nicely alongside my hydration flask, and we can try and record some stuff while we're running. Let's see. It's going to be an experiment. I only started recording on this thing a couple of weeks ago, so I've got a lot to learn, but let's see what we can get. Okay, nearly ready to go. Just one PSA. This stuff is magic. This is an anti-chafe balm. I use the Body Glide version. I've used this for quite a few years since I started running. And I will always put it on underneath, like where my running vest is gonna rub, because you can get some surprisingly horrible wounds from running vests. A tip from someone who's learned the hard way. This is amazing. They do a few different versions. Another tip while I'm at it is on your rucksack, you're gonna check into the bag drop. If you can, if it's a boring black one, tie a ribbon or something to it, or something identifiable, because when there's lots of different black rucksacks and they can't find yours, it's nice to be able to say, oh, it's the one with the ribbon on, or I can see it, I can help you find it. So yes, those are two things that I always do for any race where there's going to be lots of people and long distance. Whew, getting very scared. 2 coats and a running vest. I'm ready for action. Let's go. So I just found the finish line and haven't started yet. I kind of wish I could just sit here, get some free peanut butter bars that they seem to be giving out and a t-shirt, and skip the whole running portion of this day. Seems like I'm gonna have to do it, so I'm walking to the start pen now.
To the start area now. If you don't know where that is,
There we go. So I've got one AirPod in, which means you can hear the fun music and atmosphere, and then also get your motivating music. So, the best of both worlds.
This is a beautiful route, 13.1 miles. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Now, one thing I hadn't considered at all is that when you're stepping in for someone last minute into a race, you're literally taking their place, and they have applied with their own details and their own race finish time projections. So when you do a big race like this, everybody who applies is asked to put in a projected finish time. And that means that the race organisers can put you in waves at the start line so that you're running with people throughout the race who are roughly running at the same speed as you. So there isn't too much undertaking, overtaking, which causes quite a lot of chaos on the route. But you can broadly stay in your waves throughout the race. So the fastest people go first and the slowest people go at the back. When I had collected my race pack, I saw I was in wave 6, which I didn't think about at all. I just thought wave 6 sounds good. And I rocked up on the day. As I got into the race pen and I was surrounded by lots of fellow runners, I saw the pacers coming in to join, so they were filtering into the pen. Pacers are people who run a race at a specific pace, so if you follow them, you will get that time. And the pacers that were joining our wave group within the pen were like 2:30, 2:40, 2:45, 2:50, which is significantly slower than I would try and run a half marathon. I had to think on the spot as to what I was gonna do. Was I gonna run a 2:45, 2:50 pace and keep with this wave, or was I gonna try and whip something out of the bag? You might think that you can just change pens, so just like knock on the door of the pen in front and say, hey, I'm in the wrong one, can you let me in? It's like Fort Knox at these races. There's security everywhere. They only let you into the pen that's on your race bib. There's like different layers of people checking that you're in the right pen. Nobody's moving. It's all quite serious. Particularly, they're trying to manage 16,000 people. So the security people are doing a brilliant job of keeping everyone safe and technically in the right places. So I had to think on my feet, and I came up with a quick strategy, which was to get to the front of the race pen of wave 6 and then run as fast as I could when the gun went off to try and catch wave 5, and then weave through people for the first 5K and try and find my pace group, which I think was probably around wave 3 or wave 4. That was my plan. Now, what I didn't factor into that strategy was that in order to get to my pace group, I would have to run through about 8,000 people. Here's how it went.
3, 2, 1! Here we go!
1.5 in, I already feel emotional. I've forgotten what it's like to run through the streets of London, and also to have your name on your top. Because people cheer for you. It's really lovely. Anyway, because I'm taking someone else's charity plates, I'm in a different start pen to the one that I'd usually be in, so I'm spending the first couple of kilometres doing a bit of catch up, and then I'll do a settling. We can slow down a bit. Let's see. So I've just gone past 5k. I'm still catching up. I started with the 2:45 pacer. I'm just about to get to the 2:05. But lots of weaving. It's quite tiring. But the views are amazing.
So the weaving in and out of people was making me pretty tired. Something in my brain was like, you're losing momentum, you suddenly need a wee. I've never had a toilet break in a race before. Even training runs, like 3 to 7 hours, I must either have a strong bladder or there's something in my brain which like switches off that bodily function when I'm running. It's just never something that I've had to consider before. However, I was suddenly desperate for a wee. And so I saw the portaloo, it was shining brightly in the distance. I was like, I'm going in. I think the universe was telling me, stop worrying about times and places and where you are and how it compares to where you've been previously, and just listen to your body and enjoy it. And that nudge came quite a few times in the race through different events, but this was the first one.
10k. I'm still not caught up. I didn't think this through. Here we go. Just past 15k. I think I have to admit to myself, I'm not going to find a good race group. I just need to enjoy the run, which is maybe the lesson of today. Just enjoy it and run because you can and because you want to. I just saw a beautiful sign that said, if your legs are tired, run with your heart. Yes, babes. Yes. Running with my heart. It's been a tricky year, but I'm back. We go from here to the finish line of this race is a new start. Let's go.
After I filmed that, we had another little unexpected surprise, which was my water bottle in my running vest exploded, which has never happened before. So I took a little sip and the mouthpiece somehow came off and landed on the other side of the road. And there was this like explosion, like someone had shaken a fizzy bottle of orange electrolyte juice in my face, like gushing in my face. Spectators were loving it. I was like, oh, where's the top? So I'm looking along the road, like, how do I find the top? So I'm like weaving in between people covered in this orange liquid on my face and just trying to find this top. Meanwhile, it's still gushing. Anyway, I don't think anyone got any video footage of that, but if they did, they'd have a good laugh. And I wish I could see it back because it would have been funny. And I realized I just could not receive any more signs just to enjoy this thing. My body was holding up and my mind was the thing that was bringing me down. And our minds are the one thing that we have the power to change. So with 5K to go, I chose to feel the joy of running. I lent into the fact that this race had been a bit of a disaster for me personally, but what an honour and blessing to actually be running the race at all after this weird circumstance of finally getting a place. I'm surrounded by amazing, strong bodies, different shapes, sizes, speeds. Some people dressed as rhinos, some people in bare feet, some people carrying things, people with the names and faces of loved ones on their backs, and everybody moving in the same direction with such enthusiasm and passion. People lining the streets, cheering, people that they don't even know, calling names out. I'm literally getting shivers just talking about it. It is a magical, magical feeling, and it made me so happy just to feel that. And I think I had to have the day I had of the worry, the anxiety, things going wrong, being in the wrong pace group, not being able to catch up to the pace group I wanted to, going to the loo, having an exploding bottle in my face. All of that had to happen for me to have this final 5K of just absolutely loving the sport and not worrying about anything but putting one foot in front of the other. Anyway, that's what was going through my mind. You can see as I crossed the finish line, it was quite emotional. Brings us to today. It wasn't the race that I wanted, but it has ignited my love for running in a really big way. And I don't mean about pacing and PBs and times and distances, but literally just getting outdoors, putting my dirty trainers on and plodding. And I waited a couple of days to record this because I have still been worried about, like, is my injury going to flare up a couple of days later? And thankfully, it hasn't. I'm feeling really good and strong. I've learned so much over the last 10 months, and I feel like I learned a lot during that race as well, and I'm grateful for how it all unfolded. So I'm not going to overdo it. I'm still mindful of the old injury and, you know, making sure that I'm being really sensible in how I continue my recovery journey. But I'm excited for what's next. So watch this space for more adventures. Thank you for joining me for this chaotic story. I feel very grateful to have reignited my very simple love of running above everything else. And I feel incredibly grateful to be in a healthy body that is able to move and to attempt these things every so often. So I'll leave it there. Thank you once more for joining me. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next time.